Hi, this is Jackie,
This is Diana.
and you're listening to Home Bodies Only, where we welcome all bodies to listen to us as we break down and dissect HBO series. And today we are talking about, and just like that, episode 7, Sex and the Widow. So it starts off that we see Carrie in her window typing, right, on her Mac.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes through all the seasons. Obviously, they're just pushing the months by. Um, and the song is Carly Simon's song, Spring is Here.
Ugh, love
And
that
it
song.
ends with the season of spring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
It's
next,
like one of those. It's one of those reminders of like them not putting these characters in winter months.
yeah.
Really, you know what I mean? I feel like it has. Did we talk about this? Like maybe it being like because of the fashion and stuff too. We don't
No, I
see
don't
her
think we
in
talked.
snow boots ever.
No.
Like,
In the movie, they did
Mhm.
do winter because there was New
Oh,
Year's
that's
Eve
right. That
and
was a
then
long time ago,
Valentine's
but yeah,
Day.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
But,
Okay,
and Sex and the City was always filmed in the summer.
always.
And
Yeah,
it's easier
it's
in
so
New
much
York.
easier.
Come on. Ugh. Yeah. But I have a funny little story about that you're saying
Mm-hmm.
about it being winter or not being winter, basically. Okay. So next scene, Carrie is talking to her editor. I was like going back and forth between publisher and editor. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Publishing company, it's the editor. Her name, she's
Yeah.
played by a woman named Ashley Atkinson, FYI.
Yeah.
She wants to fast track this book for the Christmas season. She said it was raw, honest, brutal. Carrie spent her whole writing career on a quest for love, finally finds it, and then he dies. And then she does say it's a little too dark for her readers. So she'd give the readers an element of hope, like go on a date, basically, telling her to go on a date.
Yeah.
She's like, and basically do it in the next few weeks so we can
Right.
hit that stocking stuffer deadline.
Yeah. Put it on the shelves.
Yeah, I think Carrie's like, freaking out. And she's like, just a toe dip in the dating pool. One guy, write it in the epilogue, single page,
Mhm.
half a page, a glimmer of hope, something. So I'll briefly mention what she's wearing. I don't think I looked into it too much, but it was a purple blazer. I don't know the brand, polka dot black with like yellowish tan polka dots and a red tie.
Yeah.
Actually,
This
I
wasn't
could
my
probably
favorite look. I liked her
no.
shoes, but I wasn't digging like the whole like suit-ish like tie.
Oh yeah, and
thing.
then the
I don't know.
pants. Sorry, I'm talking over you, which I was trying not to do.
It's okay.
Her pants are. Oh, she's wearing. Well, this actually is kind of interesting. I didn't really love the outfit, but it's a Jean Paul Gaultier spring 1997 jumpsuit under there.
Okay.
So we probably couldn't see there were probably straps because I can see the buttons look like they come up high, like under her chest, basically, with a bold red tie. That's all they really say. Okay, I'll go back to my.
I love. Yeah. Yeah. I like that they were like a heeled mule, almost like, right?
I don't have the picture of the shoes,
and I
so
like the shoes, but I was like, it's not my favorite outfit, but
yeah. And her hair's back. Okay, so then we have Charlotte playing tennis with LTW. That's her partner, right? And they end up beating the two ladies that they play against, and they're playing Eye of the Tiger, which is so funny. And what's funny about Eye of the Tiger is when I was pregnant with my son, I must have been pretty far along, and that played on the radio in the car, and he went nuts in my stomach.
Oh my gosh.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
LTW is wearing Fendi. Now, I'm going to go into LTW, but I think I wrote the information down lower in the notes, unless I just say it. I have good stuff. I better do it later on because I have it later in the notes, and if I start scrolling for it. I found out who her character is based off of a real person. So I'm very excited about that. I'll tell you guys about it later. You'll just have to listen to the entire hour-long podcast. Okay.
That's right.
She's wearing Fendi, by the way, LTW in
Yeah.
this scene. Fendi tennis outfit. Next scene is the farmer's market, and I found this out. They did film this in the winter
At a
time.
farmer's market.
Or it was
right?
cold. It was freezing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a setup of a farmer's market, but
Right.
it was not spring. But they were like, I saw something on, it must have been on Instagram, where they were freezing, but they were dressed like spring. You know, they weren't in winter
Like
coats
lighter
or anything.
weight
So,
clothing. Interesting.
yeah, so they were really cold. Like everybody, I think I saw it was Cynthia Nixon, and everybody, like you could see the crew was wearing like winter jackets, and it was really, I don't know what month it was, but I guess it was really cold when they filmed it, because I thought they finished filming in the summer, but I guess not. Okay. Miranda's on the phone with Steve, telling him where she is. It's frustrating because I don't know. She's just like,
we know he can't
I don't
hear
know, whatever
either.
it was. Can't
Yelling at
hear.
him.
Yeah, it just was uncomfortable. And then, small world, Naya and Andre Rashad. Naya and Andre Rashad come walking up.
Yeah.
Right? It's Andre Rashad. I kept thinking they're saying his last name. I think his actual full first name is Andre Rashad.
Oh, I thought that was his last name. Oh, okay.
I don't know. When I watched it a second time, for some reason, because she calls him Andre Rashad, and then Miranda calls him AR.
Oh,
she calls him AR in the text. Yeah, like introducing as Andre Rashad. But
like the musician.
The musician.
You know what I mean? Like, this is my husband, Andre Rashad.
Oh,
you know
right.
He's
like,
a musician.
Like, yes. Like John Mayer. Yes.
Right. Okay. Really? That's who came up with? Yeah. Like, this is my husband, Justin Timberlake. Right? I mean,
right.
John Mayer.
Right. Yeah, I did.
Listen, I do have a newfound respect for John Mayer because of the whole Bob Saget.
Yeah. I knew he was really good friends with him, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Not a John Mayer fan, just putting it out there. But I did really appreciate what he did. And I didn't know that they were close. So,
yeah.
He earns a little point in my book.
So, yay. Okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to marry him or anything. So,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna marry
so they
Justin
come walking up.
So.
No. Probably not.
No.
You never know, though. Never say never. You've been in a pandemic. Never thought that would happen. Wearing masks with children for speech therapy. It's excellent. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay. So Naya introduces the two of them. And Andre Rashad mentions, it's nice to meet the one who beat up Chucky on the subway. Anyway, he goes to get cheese from the cheese lady. I don't remember what he says. Did he say something like he was worried about her running out of a certain kind
a shortage?
Or something like that?
I can appreciate that because I've been to these farmers markets and the cheese lady is like legit, and you want to fill up your cheese when you can because they do sell out. Especially if there's a certain cheese that you want. And I love cheese. I do fancy a good cheddar.
Me too.
So.
Me too.
But can we talk about, like, seriously, the kiss that he laid on?
I was just going to say that. So they have a deep kiss, right?
It's very succulent.
Lingers. It's succulent. And even as she looks at him, like.
There was, like, saliva exchanged. It was probably a little mushy. I don't want to say that word because I really hate that word. So
mushy bothers you?
No, you know the word.
Oh,
you used it previously, and I'm not.
I won't say it. I thought you were saying mushy,
but that's.
I wouldn't call that.
Really?
I wouldn't even say that. No, it was passionate,
juicy. Yes.
Does that bother you?
Nice kiss.
Yes, Miranda's impressed. Says if they were a show, she'd stream them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and Naya says, "Well, it would be a." Yeah, she's dying over there. She is dying. She's very thirsty. Okay, she's thirsty for that juice. Durr. Okay. Naya says it would be a drama if it was a show because she got her period and had been almost 2 weeks late. She doesn't want to tell him. Then Steve walks up and I wrote like a nutty old guy. I mean, he's like, this place is BS. like he was like bow-legged all of a sudden. Thank you.
That's a great
I can't.
Yeah, he looked like a complete nerd.
Oh my! But he's like he was squatting almost. I don't know what was going on with the way he was standing.
It was so uncomfortable because
so yeah.
Their marriage couldn't be even more couldn't be more opposite. Naya and her husband.
More opposite of Naya and Andre Rashad. Yeah. So Miranda introduces them, and he's been dying to meet her because she's the only person, I can't even do it, who intimidates Miranda. Naya says, I think we intimidate each other. Yeah. And then, of course, Steve has another problem. Like, I feel like he's going to say he's constipated, too, at some point. He's like, I left my wallet at the pickle guy. And you distracted me because you were yelling at me. Like, totally embarrassing. It's just terrible.
He sounded like a rugrat or something.
Yeah.
Like Tommy Pickles or something.
I'm drooling right now because I don't know why.
It was so fun. Yeah. I had to watch it a couple times because I was dying.
But like confused, the pickle guy was over by, I don't know, like everybody moved around, and his life, it's a mess.
He just did not have the executive functioning skills to really figure this out.
No, he couldn't even fake it. Like he couldn't even fake it like in front of Naya. Mm-hmm. He is who he is.
It's almost like Queens, it was like dragging your kid out to the store and they don't want to go. And then you give them a job to do.
And then they throw
a temper tantrum because you made me do this, and look at what you did. It's all your fault.
Now you made me lose my wallet. Yeah.
Right. When she could have just went to the damn farmer's market herself.
I know.
It's like,
I would be panicking way more than he was. I mean, he was more angry. If I left my wallet in New York City at a farmer's market, even when it's not even like, it's New York City. Like I lived there. No, it doesn't matter. It's gone.
Any farmer's
Your
market.
wallet's gone, dude.
It's gone.
Yeah, any farmer's market. It's gone.
Yeah. Because we all know the people that go to the farmer's market. They're not all the locals. Okay. They're all coming from afar. Okay.
Yeah. And it's a wallet sitting out on a table. And
it's a farm.
It's outside.
Market. Yeah. These people are hungry for
And income. I can't believe they didn't follow up about the wallet at all in this episode. That's all I have to say.
I hope he found it.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. So then Andre Rashad, I'm just going to keep calling him that. Andre Rashad is coming back, and she says, toward them, and she's like, Naya says, my man's coming back, and she gestures to like button your lip, zip your lip about the whole period thing, right? All right, next scene is my favorite. I think one of my favorite dresses. I don't know. I really loved her dress in this. She's going to see her editor again. She goes to, I guess, the offices, and and I wanted to figure out what building that was in real life, and I couldn't find it. It looked like a modern, like Barnes and Noble. Like I don't know what was going on. Like silver railing on the stairs, very modern looking.
Yeah, it had that publishing
and it was the
company look to it, very like
hip. And it was like I don't know if it was like the cafeteria or cafe there or whatever, because she was getting her like, I don't know, fourth cappuccino or whatever she was doing. Yeah.
Can we talk about how sloppy they make her look? Oh my, like so like disheveled, disheveled
milk
and
mustache.
Like disorganized. Yeah, the milk is like a complete mess.
Yeah.
Just it bothered me a lot. Like this is her editor, and like this is the way we're presenting. Like she can't get it together. And she is great, I'm sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the whole like vibe of like people that work in like the book industry.
And they're like, yep, and do this, and it very like
and 5 cappuccinos will do that to you. So
yeah. So her dress. Oh, by the way, I have to say, I think I forgot. I've mentioned her once. The costume, the wardrobe people, and I've said I think I forgot like her name is Danny Santiago, and then Molly Rogers. And Molly Rogers on Instagram is actually kind of, I don't know how I found her actually, because her handle is MGRMGM, and it doesn't say Molly Rogers. Like she doesn't have. I don't think she has as many followers as Danny Santiago. So she's almost like a little bit under the radar, which is kind of interesting. But the dress, I thought the dress was like a really famous brand because I kept thinking the pattern on it was some kind of, what's
signature
the word?
pattern or something.
Signature. Sorry. Yeah. But it's by a company called 45R USA, and it's a shirt dress. They call it the shirt dress. And then the jellyfish bag by Rebecca Taylor. That one I know. Yeah.
Love that bag.
The shoes. Do you recognize the shoes?
No.
I did not at first until I started looking into this.
No, I was stuck on the dress with the bag. I was like, ooh, I don't even think I noticed her shoes. Were they nude color? No.
They're black, open-toed, like booties, sandal booties, I guess. They, I believe, are from the movie. Oh, gosh. She's wearing a green dress in the movie here. I wonder if I show it to you. You'll see it. I know no one else can see it. You can't see it. Can you see them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even notice that. And then when I was looking into the outfit, they're like, there's the shoes. It might have been when she was looking at apartments with Big, and she had that Eiffel Tower bag that they showed before too. So anyway, I think these black shoes, and they're Dior. They said archive Dior. So they obviously pulled them out of the archives. So, Carrie goes to see her editor because she is worried, and she saw the book cover proposals, and Amanda whips out the iPad and shows the one, and she's like, what? This is so, I don't remember the words she used, but it was like black and white. It was like an ocean. It looked kind of, it was pretty, but it looked kind of sad. And Carrie's like, maybe this is too heavy for my readers, and the book could just be for her. Like her, almost like her therapy, like her writing. But then Amanda mentions Oprah's book club heard about it, and they're very excited.
Yeah.
She was like, Oprah? Yeah. So next, there's 4 of them now at the restaurant because it's Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte, and Seema is there. I don't know what restaurant. I tried to find it. I think it's a real restaurant, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, but did you kind of like get, I was getting this like throwback vibe of like the 4. Like Seema basically becoming Samantha in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that 4th person. Yeah. And I know they're like rotating the 4th person. It's Anthony, it's her, it's what, know, but I was just kind of like, this kind of brings back a little of that feel.
And even what she ends up doing for her would be maybe something Samantha would do.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to say a couple things. So Seema, first of all, that bag with like a jaguar on it. I gotta. Where's the?
Handle?
It's a Lanvin bag. I'm probably saying it wrong. Lanvin. She says that they said that bag was like front and center, but they didn't say. I think it's a jaguar. Seema. Okay, so I did listen very briefly to the writers room podcast. And I guess, oh gosh, I'm so bad because I don't have her actual real name here. I think it's Sarita. Seema's played by a woman named Sarita, I believe. I guess they had like 4 takes, and she was like, I hope that they were good because I was floating. She said she couldn't believe she was sitting there with the 3 of them.
Yeah.
With the 3 actresses because she used to watch the show. So she seemed very comfortable and confident. I did, so she was like, so it's kind of cool to hear that. Like she was so starstruck and just in awe of being, in this show. I know that also Sara Ramirez, who plays Che, also was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm on this show. Anyway, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool because their characters are seamless in a way, and they seem as though they just fit in naturally, and
they do.
It's not uncomfortable at all.
No.
So that's what I think.
Yeah. Steve's more uncomfortable.
Steve is more uncomfortable than ever before. And I even watched like some of the old episodes, just like throwing back to like those days.
Oh, you
with
did?
Steve, the early days. And I was like, wow. It's just the evolution, man.
Evolution of Steve.
Yeah. And the whole Steve and Miranda, and just, anyway. It was just a couple episodes I was you know.
I got to go back when I have time.
Just sprinkling them in here and there.
Yeah. So I think Carrie tells them that the editor they want her to go on a date. And Charlotte gets very excited. She says, I've been waiting for you to be ready. There's been a wave of divorces at school. There's 3 adorable dads who'd be fighting over you. Carrie says she's not really ready, but she was mandated by her editor and Oprah. And they're all like, seriously? Dying. Miranda says, well, I'll just have to write in the corny joke. Well, when Oprah mandates a mandate, what are you going to do? And Seema says, date a man. Ha ha ha. And Carrie says something like, if I can lighten my hair, I can lighten my book. Then Charlotte mentions the benefit.
Too, right?
Yes.
Oof.
Yes.
Like, let it go.
Let it loose. Let it go. But then she puts it back up.
I know.
So Charlotte mentions that, all the dads would be at this benefit coming up. And Carrie says she'd really rather not date anyone that anybody knows. And then she's like, is there a way I could just be knocked out and then like put up my profile on the dating apps? And Seema's like, I already listed you on 3 different sites on Valentine's Day because nobody's buying real estate in the winter. And she said, so she listed her and she's doing very well. So they start looking at they scroll through some pictures and one guy is chewing on his glasses. And Seema's like, don't you know, that means they're good in bed. And Carrie's like, no sex, pleasant conversation, so she can be a stocking stuffer. Now we have Miranda and Carrie walking on the street. And then Miranda asks Carrie, so no sex for her, like for you, like ever? And Carrie says, the thought of never having it again feels really strange, but the thought of having it with anyone other than Big makes her sick to her stomach.
Yeah.
Foreshadow. Don't, just kidding. Maybe she says maybe she's had her share of all that like dating when she looks back at her dating life and it was a roller coaster. I did like this part. She's like, and I mean one of those old wooden ones.
That was great.
Yeah. And then Miranda's like, I would kill to be on the roller coaster. I've been riding the monorail for too long. Yeah. The monorail of Steve.
Oh boy.
I don't think she's riding anything actually, but
no, okay. There's no,
there's no rides. Carrie thought it might have changed since, she didn't hear anything from her. And, Miranda says, well, I always say no news is no news. So then Miranda asks, hey, what's the lifespan of an unanswered, text? Is it 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months? And Carrie's like, try 3 hours, and then she tells her it was Che. I think even Carrie says Che or whatever. And then Miranda asks if Che had asked about her. And Carrie mentions that Che's been back and forth to LA and that they ride all the rides. So
yeah,
Che's doing their thing. Miranda says she'll just have to file that away as a crazy one-off and resign herself to a dead sex life. And she says she can't believe she had the most transcendent sex of her life, and it will never happen again. And Carrie says, I know how you feel, but Big is actually dead. And then I think Carrie says, not Miranda, maybe, Miranda and Steve are just in a deep coma.
Right.
So we'll see. Then we go to Harry and Charlotte. This is pretty quick. So Harry saw Harry saw Herbert on the subway, and they're talking about the tennis, and he wants to have mixed doubles. So he wants to get in there. All right, now we have
the tennis club.
Yeah, I got some dirt on that too. Oh, okay, Andre, Rashad, and Naya are in a car, which I thought was impressive because most people who live in New York, I'm telling you, don't have cars. Okay. No. Especially aren't just like driving and they're like talking about dinner that night. I'm like,
and there's no other cars really around.
Realistic. Yeah. I was like, So of course the car starts reading her text aloud. See that fancy technology. I upgraded my internet speed, but that's about it. Okay.
Yeah. My car
starts reading aloud.
If the kids are in the car and like a text pops up, depending on who it's from, I won't press it because you just never know. Like if I get something from you or like a friend, it might have like, a curse word or something.
Yeah.
So
that's what this is based off of, actually. In the writer's room, they mentioned they got that idea. And again, I wasn't even looking for this part. I was like kind of fast forwarding through the podcast. They got this idea because one of the writers, I don't know who the text was from, because again, I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I guess it said something like, don't tell the kids, it will upset them. And the kids were in the car.
Right. Yeah.
So, the car starts reading the text and says, sorry, you're not pregnant. I hope it went well when you told AR. That's what she said. She's trying, Naya's trying to turn it off. It's not stopping, not looking at the road. Andre Rashad says, red light. She slams on her brakes, and there's a couple and their toddler in the crosswalk. One of the parents comes up to the window, very upset. I didn't write everything he said, but basically it was that line, I have a toddler. I have a toddler. Now, I also know where that came from the writer's room. I guess Michael Patrick King, right? He was at the movies, and someone was, I don't know if the kid was screaming, and then someone was getting mad, and they were like, I have a toddler. So that's where he got the idea from. I wanted to find out who the person was that played that parent, but I couldn't find who it was. I was dying. They were nice and calm.
Did you think that they were gonna, like, something was gonna go down? Like the
happen?
window, they were going out of the car? Because I was like, the day that they're having the car. Yeah.
I know.
And like the day that they were having, I'm surprised that she didn't like just throw that door open and go head to head with this guy.
Especially, just says not pregnant.
Yeah.
And then I have a toddler.
And rolled it down to be like, I've been through IVF twice and I'm not pregnant. I got my period. Like, I can't believe she didn't. Wow.
Right. Especially on your period,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. It was a little.
She didn't snap. Oof.
I guess they just didn't want to go there.
But
I don't know.
It wasn't with his response.
Though. It was
like, is he coming at us? Like right now?
I know. He's like, is he serious right now? He said, is he seriously coming for me? That's what he said. So, because Andre said, you better check yourself. And he's like, you better check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
I did write there. They're so calm. That's what I wrote. So now we see Carrie scrolling, and she picks Peter, who's 53.
Yes. Peter.
Okay, now we're at tennis.
Very not threatening at all. He's non-threatening.
Not threatening.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Oh, we're back at the club. That's right.
He's cute. We're back at the club. Now, I wanted to know, like, where was this filmed? Well, I will send you the link after this. Unbelievable. They played tennis at a place called Waterline Square. They also filmed, so I think they filmed the tennis part there and also the lobby of the building when they're coming down the stairs. This is an apartment complex. It is what Carrie's apartment from last episode. This would have been the real deal. Riverview's I got to send you the link. You watch this video and you feel like you're in the future. And so
it's basically, it's got all the amenities that one could, but they're making it seem like a tennis club, but it's really an apartment complex. Got it.
But I just have to tell you about the apartment complex. Okay. You all should go on this. You all should look this up, who's ever listening, and just watch the video of these apartments. And you're just like, can I go there right now? And you can actually see they have curtains. Like, you could see the window treatment, but it looks like they don't like that look. But you can obviously,
this
windows,
is where Carrie needs to be living.
Yes. So listen what they have there. They have a bowling alley. They clearly have a tennis court. They have a soccer field. They have they have hydroponic gardens. Like, it almost sounds like its own little world. It's kind of a little creepy, but cool. Obviously, there's a pool. I believe there's a spa because they showed a woman looking like she was going to get a massage. There's a recording studio. Yeah, we got to go there. Okay.
Maybe we
record our podcast.
Buy a place there just for like the weekends or something.
I'll give you the prices. You ready? So rent ranges from $3,000 a month to $7,000 a month. Purchases start. Oh, this was back in April of 2021. So I don't know if it's changed. It's the prices start at $2.275 million for one bedroom, 3.14 for two bedrooms, 4.8 for three bedrooms, and then 12.5 for four bedrooms, and also 6 bathrooms. Just to let you know. You got to go to the video.
Is it a studio?
Yeah. I don't know. I think they called it probably that's the 1 bedroom. I didn't see studio as a choice.
Listen, we could split the $3,000 a month if, you know.
Totally. And go there once a week.
Just once a week we'll go down wait.
To record the podcast.
Our mortgages, okay?
Yeah, I was going to say. That's
we'll
actually
get this as like a weekend
more
place.
Than my mortgage. That's more than my mortgage, actually. Even half the 3,000 is more than my mortgage. That's all.
Okay. I have my own bowling shoes. I don't know if you know this, but
I think you did mention
this. Did we talk about this?
When we talked about the sex lives of college girls. I don't remember why. Or maybe, I don't remember what we were talking about. But yes,
because I have a bowling jacket. I won
because you had a bowling jacket.
But I do have my own bowling shoes. So
I knew that.
Definitely fit in with this crowd there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you need. So I was like, I mean, you got to check it out. Waterline Square.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds amazing. Where is it located?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Downtown.
I'm going to
because it's on the river.
Like location. I'm all about
Actually, I don't. No, it's not. No, it's not. I did look.
Okay.
It's near a
be
park,
in a nice part of town.
Yeah, it's near a park also. I can't believe I didn't write it down because I was reading about it. I can't believe I didn't write it down.
I'll look into that.
Sorry, everybody.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it sounds like its own like utopia. It's a little like its own little world. It's kind of creepy and also cool. Okay, so now we're at the doubles. And I wonder where I have the LTW information. Oh, maybe I'll go into that right now because I did find it. Okay. So, saw a thing literally this morning so Real Housewives of New York that you don't watch didn't do so well last season. So they are really leaning into this reboot. I don't know if she's officially casted yet, but the rumor is they want Candace Bushnell. And then they want Crystal McCrary McGuire, who LTW is based off of. She is married to Ray McGuire, who plans to run for mayor, which is what they said about Herbert.
Correct.
He is. Wait a second. He's a CEO. Why doesn't it say? Oh, he is Citigroup's vice chairman. Yeah. So they're trying to get, rumor is they're trying to get her on Real Housewives of New York as well. So that's who LTW is based off of. She is beautiful.
Fascinating.
Look her up. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. It just popped up on my feed today. I was like, I had no idea. Okay. I'll try to make this short with the tennis thing because I'll be honest, I was not a fan of this whole storyline.
No, I didn't really like this scene, really. Didn't do much for me.
No, so they're playing and Charlotte knocks.
Big deal.
She knocks him over.
Right.
Hitting the ball. They end up beating Herbert and LTW. Harry gets on this thing. He wants an apology for being knocked over. And I'll be honest, I'm just surprised out of habit. She didn't just say sorry because she knocked him over.
Sorry about that. Yeah, move on. Like, normal.
I don't know. I wasn't on her side about this.
It became like such a big deal where she
like it became a sexist thing. Like it became.
Yeah.
What? Now they what?
No, I get where it went so that they would see them arguing. Right. But really, did it have to? We've never seen Charlotte that angry to where she curses like that. Am I wrong?
Oh my God. No, I agree.
Like, it was like she was like a whole nother side, like so nasty.
Yeah. And just saying, about was that later on about the Demi Lovato part, but she's so mad about saying sorry. It just, but it wasn't appropriate in that.
It wasn't. And she didn't want to play doubles anyway with them. Like we knew, like at least I was getting the sense like she was already bitter about that. And then this happens and then she completely loses her, And I'm like, oh my God, what is with the wives on this show this week treating their husbands like complete dirt?
Yeah.
Poor Steve, man. And
Harry.
Poor Harry needs a tan.
Harry.
He's got the whitest legs I've ever seen, man.
Yeah.
With the white shorts on. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Poor
not
guy.
good.
No.
I'll just mention that.
Tan.
Yeah. Oh my God. That would be funny. Remember when she wanted him to get waxed for the wedding?
Yes.
Because he had a hairy back.
Yes.
Harry was hairy. Gosh. I have to clear my throat. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. So I just wanted to say, I believe Charlotte has a Gucci bag over her shoulder, unless I'm messing this up, because it's that horse bridle hook, basically. And it just was so off. It was brown leather, tiny, and she had on her red cardigan, tennis sweater with the white. And I don't know, I was just surprised. They usually match like stuff perfectly. That's all. Where am I here? Oh, so then LTW and Herbert see them fighting and they're like, great. Charlotte says, great. Now they think we're that couple. And he's like, what couple or something like that. And she says, the couple who fights in the street. Yeah. So then we see Miranda in her kitchen. She's coming on to Steve. She asks him to kiss her neck. I can't even say the next part for some reason. Then do something to her with his finger. So he goes and washes his hands, which is really funny because I think the first time I watched it, I didn't even notice that or make note or remember, I guess, because then I watched it the second time and I just thought that was funny. I mean, good. He did. I'm glad he did. And you would approve. Excuse me. So they start or whatever, and he asks if it's right, and she's trying to guide him, and clearly it's just not working. Asks if he should get
the stuff to help.
The stuff to help. Yes, make things juicier.
Oh, jeez. Oh, here we go.
I knew you were going to get mad. I say it for your reaction. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then she says she'll go get it. And then as she's walking out, he's like, oh, should I cover these? You know, like the food containers? Because they're starting to smell. I mean, like, what? And then she's like, oh, wait. Goes and like starts loading the dishwasher and then just forget it. And she says, let's just have dessert. Yep.
Yeah. Back to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. This is the Carrie on the date scene. She is wearing a Norma Kamali dress. It's powder.
That loose like blazer.
She has a blazer on, and I didn't notice till I think after I watched the show and saw a picture online. It has like some flowers on it,
had
like some kind of pattern on it.
It was very faint, but yeah.
Very, very faint. Yeah, it's powder blue. One shoulder dress made of, this is interesting, made of stretch jersey, which comes complete with a built-in bodysuit. So I guess
not loving the color. Maybe just it's not.
Oh, I liked it on her.
Yeah, she looked.
Yeah, I don't know about for me.
That's just I'm not blues. I'm just not. If light blues, I wouldn't. I don't know. Plus her hair being pulled back like a librarian again. I was like losing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we please let her loose a little bit?
Yeah.
A loose bun. I don't know. I guess
I said to you earlier,
hair up, but like, can we get a little vibe going with the hair? What is with the librarian bun again?
She's looking like a widow.
She's a lady.
She's got to look like a widow.
Yes, you're right. Okay.
I'm sure. Okay. Relax. Her body looked awesome.
She looked
Her
beautiful.
body looked great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is even funnier. So I guess Norma Kamali noted on Instagram that this dress sells for an affordable $215. Okay. Just to let you know. It's paired with a sequined Paco Rabanne clutch. And then she wore a silk satin Max Mara blazer.
Totally. That's an affordable.
And it says somehow, this is from W Magazine. Sorry. And this is really funny. It says somehow she doesn't get stains on it. On the the light
we'll get
blazer.
To that.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was my favorite part. I hate to say that. So the restaurant they go to is called Au Cheval. It's down on 33 Cortland Alley downtown. I was like actually trying to see which part of the city it was in, and I went to a map and then I couldn't find that actual street.
Okay.
It's downtown. That's all I'm going to tell you. Maybe near Chinatown-ish. So,
way down there.
Yeah. Yes. So it looks awesome. Like really awesome. It looked awesome when she went to it. And then when I was online looking at it, it looked great too. It looked yummy. So she sits down, and then Peter, it's awkward. And Peter admits that it's his first date since his wife died. And then she says, me too. Asks how his wife died. And he says ovarian cancer. And then asks how her Big died, and she says heart attack, and then she's like, I think we're gonna need some drinks.
Totally. I mean, I needed a drink. Just watching them, I was like, oh my gosh, get these people a margarita.
Yeah.
Like glass of wine, something to break the tension.
They had
I
everything.
Felt so bad for them.
I know.
So
they're exiting the restaurant and they're sloshed, and they had to have had a mix. They are laughing so hard though at something, right? Yeah. So then Peter starts laughing that he starts coughing, and then he just starts puking, and he throws up on his shoe, and you see it. And then she starts. I was crying, and I was talking to Diane about it. I didn't know I was that person. I didn't know that puking made me laugh so hard. I was like, I will say though, in Dumb and Dumber, when, oh my God, of course I'm blanking out on everybody's name. Oh my God. The guy from one of the main characters in Dumb and Dumber. Why can't I think of his name? It's very famous.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Why don't you know?
Yeah.
You can't think of it either?
I can't think of names on the fly sometimes.
All right. The brown-haired person. In the movie. Yes. And he sees his friend with the woman, he has the crush on, and he starts to gag, like he's dry heaving. That is one of my favorite parts of that movie. Like I start laughing too. So I guess, of course I like when they're puking. It's funny. So
I'm really big gross now, but I was laughing so hard.
What?
I said normally I'd be grossed out, but I was laughing so hard.
I know. Yeah, they did that. They filmed it well and everything. That's it was great. Oh, and in the writer's room too, they said, Carrie's first date after Big they're gonna make it a disaster, on purpose, obviously. Obviously it's all on purpose. I don't know why I say that. Her dress, oh no, I can't go into her dress yet. Okay. Now we're at the benefit right after that. That's what I'll talk about. So her dress is from spring 2009, Loren Scott dress. Loren is spelled L''WREN. If you're going to look for it, just to let you know. You can actually, I also saw it online. It's also in black with white trim, it looked like, too. I do like the white or the cream or whatever that she's wearing.
Yeah. It was kind of like Julia Roberts.
Yes. Yes.
Remember that dress she wore?
Yeah.
To the Oscars in I don't know, 98 or something, 2001.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, totally.
But it was classic. And
I knew
reminded
it looked familiar. Yes. So she wears that. Oh, and then the shoes. Did I write this down? Somebody pointed out that they resemble. I keep thinking they were from the movie or the show or something, but I don't know. The shoes resemble. So Sarah Jessica Parker has her own shoe line.
Correct.
And she has shoes that are called Rampling Color Block in Candy/Poppy. And they do look like them, but they don't have the black shoe bow on them.
Okay.
So they might be her shoes from her line, FYI. So, okay. So we're at the benefit, and Herbert and LTW are hosting it, right? But LTW keeps not lifting up her microphone and talking in it. So Herbert is getting annoyed. And to be honest, I kind of felt like it was out of character for her because she's very confident. She, I don't know, that just surprised me.
She usually takes charge in the meetings that we've seen and the gatherings, and she's very so it did seem, but here we are. We need to create the tension.
Yes, we have to create something. Yep.
But with the microphone, I was like, come on.
Yeah, it was annoying me.
Yeah, it was getting annoying.
So she keeps not lifting it up every time she talks. It's so Carrie is we see Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte, and Anthony, and Carrie's telling them about the date. She's like, I blame you. She blames Charlotte. Charlotte's like, me? It was Oprah. And then Anthony says that he once SHIT'd himself on a date.
Yes. Right, of course he did.
He's and they're like, great, or whatever. He says he's empathizing. She says she wins because her husband died.
Right.
Then Harry comes over and he's talking to Charlotte. He's like, I can't find the Steve Colbert tape for Lily. And Charlotte says, that's for Rock. Lily wants these vintage sneaker thing. So then she apologizes for leaving the group. Just sorry, and like goes with him. And he's like, oh, did you just hear what you said? Did you hear what you just said to them? Next scene is Miranda asks Anthony how he shat himself. And he said he was going out for ice cream with Connie DeLuca.
Connie DeLuca, man.
And he's like, Connie DeLuca. And he's like, my body knew. And then, of course, he had to add a corny joke. There was chocolate chip in my pants or something. I was like, you didn't have to talk about that part. That part wasn't funny. The Connie DeLuca is funny. No. That's all.
Connie DeLuca was funny enough for me.
Yeah. Stick with that. So you just picture her. She had huge hair.
Oh.
However old she was.
Aquanet.
Huge hair. Aquanet.
She washed it with finesse. It was a whole plus,
chewing gum before she had the ice cream.
Juicy fruit.
So then there's Juicy again. So then Carrie says, I still win.
Yeah.
Okay. LTW and Herbert again. She's just really sucking at hosting. She's not talking to her mic. Then we see Charlotte and Harry, and he says, it just rolled off her, your tongue saying you're sorry. Why can't it roll off her tongue for him? He's still stuck at it. And she's like, it can't. And he's like, you've apologized 12 times since we left the house. You even apologized. I think he said, you even apologized to the woman that bumped into you. And then, so this is the part where she makes no sense. She's like, women apologize to the whole world all day long. Tennis is the one place that she doesn't have to do that. And then she says, to quote Demi Lovato, she said it really weird. I don't know if that was in her character or that's just how she says it. Sorry, not sorry. I was like, this is so dumb.
That was corny.
Dumb. Not sorry. Dumb. Okay. Miranda and Carrie are still at the top, the table top, whatever they're at. They're not at they're not sitting at a table. What's that called? The high top. Thank you.
High tops.
There you go. The high top.
I'm here for backup.
Thank you. Except when I couldn't figure out, I still can't think of his name, and I'm really annoyed.
It'll come to us. It will.
Oh my God. The pet detective.
Eventually. Oh, geez. Not
Fire Marshal Bill.
Oh, come on. Ace Ventura.
He was. Yes.
Oh
my God. Okay.
What is wrong with us? People are probably shouting.
I know people
listening
are
right now.
All the thousands of listeners to us right now are screaming at us. Sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong?
You can look it up.
I can name a million movies.
Look it up.
The one where he lives in a bubble.
Can you look it up?
Yeah.
On your phone? Or you're just refused to?
Jim Carrey.
Carrey. Thank you. And Carrie is the main character, and I can't think Jim Carrey. Like
when you said look it up, it just clicked.
So. Thank you, Jim Carrey.
You're welcome, Jim Carrey.
Okay. So Carrie says to Miranda that she's just going to go back to Amanda and tell her that there was no glimmer of hope and to forget the book. Miranda tells her about Steve from the other day. And she's saying the patient is not responsive. They are like zombies. And Sarah Jessica Parker. Yeah, here we go. Carrie.
SJP.
Carrie asks if she would try counseling. She wouldn't try counseling again. And I think they went like twice already or something.
Yeah.
Okay. LTW and Herbert once again, LTW not using the mic, but she does introduce Che. Che's there.
Yes. Che is there.
Doing
of course.
Doing
Che
some
is
comedy.
At all the events.
Of course. Yeah.
Che is flying here, there, and everywhere. I mean,
Miranda
Che doesn't stop. Does Che take a day off to like chill? No.
Che does not take a day off.
No, Che is just a working machine.
Yes. So Miranda sees Che and it is like immediately like hypnotized, right? Mesmerized. Che's here or something like that, and just walks away from Carrie like in a trance. Then Carrie sees Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh. And then Anthony walks up and she's trying to hide behind him. She thinks he's leaving because he walks away from the bar where he was. So she asks Anthony to follow him out. And when he's sure he's gone, to let her know. And he's like, come on. She's like, my husband died. He's like, you get one more of those or something. Then two of the moms are chatting up Che. And they are the moms that were on the Zoom when they told Charlotte about Rock, when they were talking about Rock. So I thought that was kind of funny. And they're chatting up Che, and Miranda is coming like behind them, standing there like, duh, staring at Che. And Che lifts, like gives Miranda a nod and then goes back to talking, and Miranda's face just like completely falls. So then Che leaves the ladies and says, oh, there's someone here I know that I want to talk to. So Che does want to go talk to Miranda. So Che goes up to Miranda, and I think Miranda's being kind of, abrupt. Yeah. And Che says, why are you being weird? And Miranda brings up the unanswered DM, and Che never saw it. They say, a lot of weed, get a lot of DMs. And Miranda's like, I'm sure you do. And Che says, you should have just DM'd me again. Ask for what you want. And then Che says, I'll tell you what I want. You want Che wants to, what? Right. With Miranda. And Miranda's like, really, you do? Like, Miranda just has there is no cool with Miranda, with Che. She's like, you do? Like, melting. Then we see Herbert, because Miranda had called an Uber, but then she's like, the Uber, So Herbert and LTW are talking at this point, off the stage, and he's saying how he has to go because he has a 7 a.m. flight, and she doesn't want him to leave, and then they start arguing, and he mentions, like, because she's like, I can't, I don't know, I think she says, like, I can't be up there without him or something, or I don't want to do this, and he says, what do you care if people think you're awful? And she didn't say that. So then Charlotte and Harry see them arguing.
Of course.
Da-da-da-da. And they're right by the bathroom. Yeah. So then LTW says, now they think we're that couple. So Herbert says, I'm sorry. I love you. How can I make it up to you? So then we see him doing the rest of the night solo.
Exactly.
So Carrie now we're back to, we see Herbert up on stage, and then Carrie and Charlotte. Carrie wants to leave, and Charlotte says, you can't leave. Your item hasn't even gone up yet. Then we hear, date with sex writer Carrie Bradshaw. And she's like, it was lunch. And this part was funny. Charlotte goes, that's what I told them. But I was on the gathering committee, not the programming committee. So I'm like, I wonder how many committees there were for this benefit. And then Carrie says, sex writer? What do I write? Porn? So then Charlotte interrupts Herbert, clarifying it's a lunch, and she's not a sex writer. She writes about relationships. And he's like, oh, yes. Oh, Carrie Bradshaw's here, and wants her to come up there. And she's like, no. And he's like, for the kids.
Yeah.
And then
so come up on stage and just be humiliated.
I know.
People bidding on you.
And then, bidding on the widow, and nobody's bidding.
Exactly.
So, so she says to Charlotte, our friendship is now over.
Yeah. I would be done with that friendship too.
Oh my God. So he starts at 500.
Yeah.
And no one's bidding.
Nothing.
And then everyone's like, can't, we're all married, Then Charlotte bids 700. And then she's like 800. She's bidding against herself. And Harry's like, okay. Then Carrie just bids 1,000, wanting to end it. And then Peter bids 1,050. I don't know why when he did that I teared up. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So then Anthony's like, must have snuck back in when he was getting an HJ. I'll just say HJ from the cater waiter.
Yeah, of course.
People don't call it HJs. They call the other thing BJs, but they don't call this an HJ. Just saying, maybe I'm coining a new little abbreviation. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You get the copy.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks.
Yeah, that's right. We got rights to that.
That's right. Homebodies only.
Registered trademark. Can we say that?
What?
No.
Registered trademark? Yes. I thought you said registered train wreck. And I was like, yeah,
well, that too. That we're both. Let's be honest.
Registered train wreck / registered train wreck. Should totally do that. That's another one. Nobody used that one. You heard it here first.
Registered train wreck.
Okay. Carrie is leaving. And then Peter comes out after her. He follows her. And, she says, what are the odds? Although you probably know because you're a math teacher. Mm-hmm. And he says, they don't have to go out again. And she says, well, I'm happy to cover the bid. He says, no. He's like, I'm just surprised that you remember what subject I teach. And she says, well, that's the extent of it. And he says, well, we should go out again because we have so much to discuss. And like, how did I get home? Did we pay? And she says, oh, we paid. Mm-hmm. And then Carrie changes her mind and she says, okay, let's do it for the kids.
Yeah. For the
that
kids.
Was cute. For the kids. Then we see Miranda and Shay in the bed.
Correct.
And Miranda says she has never felt anything so intense in her life. And then she says, I've never felt anything so intense in my life before. I think I'm in love with you. Mm-hmm. And Shay says, you're in love with you, with me. I liked that line, actually. Mm-hmm. A lot. And Shay also said, the weed doesn't hurt. Mm-hmm. And then Miranda says, no, it's not just that. And Shay says, true. I'm also very good at sex.
Yeah, right.
Miranda says, you are. We're almost done here. Oh,
crazy.
57 minutes. Okay. Carrie's at her apartment, walks in. She gets a text from Peter. And he writes, looking forward to date number 2 with the puke emoji.
That was cute.
Yeah. She looks at her wedding band. I don't know if you noticed that. She does look down at her wedding band. And then she goes over to her computer to write.
Yeah.
And we hear her voiceover. And just like that, I found a glimmer of hope. Oh, and then they play a song by Billie Eilish called Billie Bossa Nova. I love Billie Eilish. I've actually loved everything that she's done, like from the beginning, I'll be honest. Yeah. I always am like, oh, this is cool sound. And I think I got made fun of for that by someone. I don't know. But that song was all like very, it's always very sexy.
So you don't get anything from me.
Okay, thanks.
Body is a wonderland. Like,
if someone wrote that about you, you'd be like, oh, ew. No, you'd be like, yeah, that's right.
No.
Oh shit! You got some problems, girl.
I do.
All right, that wraps it up. I really hope people are listening, because I think episode 6, it was a re-recording. We had to re-record. There were some audio issues, and I feel like we weren't as enthusiastic. But also, that episode was. It was.
Yeah, there wasn't as much connection.
Better
either.
Stuff
so that's tricky. There wasn't as much spark, for us with that one. But we're getting there.
I'm excited for 8. I'm excited for episode 8. I have not watched it yet. You did watch it? You did watch it.
I did watch it the other night for the first time, but I haven't gone back yet because I always watch it again to write down my thoughts. So,
did you like it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, if you want to email us.
Indeed.
I'll just say it again. HomeBodiesOnly@gmail.com. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.